My dear students, we are talking about competency-based questions, and there are still some of the generic skills which need to be considered for professional positions, and there are some other generic skills which need to be considered for non-professional positions or some other different positions. So let's talk about this last bit and pieces on competency-based questions on some generic skills. So juggling multiple tasks, this is also a generic skills that in organization, you don't need to perform only one task. In one particular job, you need to do and perform multiple tasks in a multiple point of time. So you need to be very expert on it. So how would you judge it? You would ask a question. Tell me about a time when you were given assignments by several supervisors, all due at the same time. How did you prioritize your work? It happened that different supervisors can give you different kind of tasks, and all of the tasks will have almost similar kind of deadlines. How would you prioritize your task? Prioritization of the task is one of the most important skills in your organization. Different categories and competency-based question. There are other competencies. Here's a list of generic competencies, categories that apply to different positions, and a series of related competency-based questions can be asked. For example, there's a question about ideal work environment. Tell me about 3 aspects of your current work environment that you would change if you could. So if you would be given authority to change your work environment, how would you critically analyze your work environment, your current work environment, and what kind of things you would suggest in such kind of a work environment? This is very much important to ask from your applicant. And then employer-employee or co-worker relationships is also very important. So you can explore by asking a question. Give me an example of a time when you had to deal with difficult co-worker. My dear students, if you are a part of organization, if you are part of any organization, all of your co-workers are not very simple and straightforward. There are some difficult co-workers, but you have to deal with them. And if you would deal with them effectively, obviously, it is one of the good generic skill, and how you handle the situation, this is very critical. So it can enhance your image in the company, and it can enhance your retention in any particular company because of this particular skill. Then strengths and areas requiring improvement. You can ask a question. Tell me about a time when you were able to convert an area requiring improvement into a strength. So there are some areas which need an improvement, and how you will convert the areas requiring improvements into your strength. And then working under pressure. It is not always a smooth sailing, my dear student. There are some pressures in the job. How would you manage such kind of a stress and a pressure working in any organization? What do you do at work to relieve your stress? Tell me about a time when you made mistakes because you were working under too much pressure. So if you are working under too much pressure, how would you manage your mistakes? How would you manage your work? How would you relieve your stress? These are generic questions which can be asked. And then the last but not least is the motivation. Motivation is a very important skill. So tell me about a job that provided a motivating environment. How they provide a motivating environment. What were the motivational factors you were more impressed of? What were the different kind of strategies they have adopted to enhance the motivation? Please describe the environment in detail so we can know that what kind of the factors, motivational factors, are prevailing in that particular work environment. And then describe an aspect of your current job that you find especially motivating. So you have to tell your interviewer that what aspect of your current job is more motivating, and how such kind of environment can be established in our organization. So such kind of questions can be asking from the applicants who are applying for a different position, and all these questions are revolving around job-specific competencies, or revolving around some generic competencies the person must have to work in any particular organization.